All right, we are recording. Hello,
Hi,
everybody. We've got Dave
hello.
Victor.
Hi, hello, Maui, and hi, Kitty. And what your name is?
My name is Aaron. My name is Aaron from the
Aaron.
playground. We have Miss Kitty Sunshine from Local Punks, and you, sir, are
Yeah, it's a
Dave
dream.
Victor.
I am Dave Dictor. Once upon a time, I was living on the Big Island about 10, 12 years ago, and right near Nahalehu, they had a radio station. And I used to live on the beach for 2 or 3 months, and we could hear the radio station just every morning. We give the weather reports. It was just so cool. So Radio Hawaii holds a special place for me.
Right on, Dave. Right on. And let's see. We want to kick this off by, first of all, letting everybody know you're going to be with Last Beer with Fear September 1st at the Playground Maui. Doors are at
Playground
7.
Maui.
The Playground
Yeah,
Maui.
a
Doors
big
at
a big
7, shows
heartfelt
at 8.
wishes for the people in Maui. You know, it's unbelievable. I've been to those roads, and
Yeah.
having lived on the Big Island, you know, I I could imagine Hilo just going up in a second. It's like it's all kindling, it's all ready to fly, and you know, geez, I just hope everyone gets, they find the, some they find their way back to having a good time in Maui because it's such a
Hey,
beautiful place.
that's why we're having this show, and we have Miss Kitty Sunshine here. She's got family out that lived out in Lahaina and has been. How long have you been on island, Miss Kitty?
I'm born and raised here. My family came 5 generations ago from Japan to work in the sugarcane fields. And my grandma was actually born in Lahaina in a house that I'm not sure exists any longer.
I read the book uh, by James Michener, Hawaii, and if you've ever read that book, it's just a great book, and it talks about the different waves of immigrants to Hawaii along with the native population. Uh, Anyone living in Hawaii, I recommend reading James Michener's Hawaii. It's the beginning of the book is one of the most beautiful books. He's just describing the lava exploding 10, 20 million years ago, and uh, and then he describes those first Polynesians that got in a boat and pushed out into the middle. They were getting chased away because their tribe had lost in a big war. I think they describe it like where they were from Guam or they're from one of the Polynesian islands, and they just were racing away, and they found fire in the sky and sailed to it, and that was Hawaii volcanoes going off, and they were the first people to be there, and just our unique place. I've been to Volcano National Park, and there was no flowers there. There was no fleas there. There was no. You had the birds had to eat it and poop it out in a seed,
Yep. Yes,
and
sir.
that's how till people brought it, fleas and rats and all those, and that's why
Bees, all those things.
they had to
Yeah.
import the
David,
mongooses. But it's just a wonderful read, and my heart goes out, and I love Hawaii. I've spent about 3 years living there, and I just love it. I got uncles and aunties that I really love, and uh, and we played with ill repute at Stella Blues
Oh,
back
cool.
about 8, 10 years ago,
Oh,
and
wow.
yeah, we stayed with the White Rose on the east side of the South Maui,
Nate and Noah.
island,
Yep. I love
and
them.
it's really just a beautiful place. And I look forward to being there
Yeah.
with you and just hug a few people and just let them know.
exactly.
I know part of the show that we're doing with Jeff Aragon, we're contributing some of our merch money and some of the money from the show
Yes.
to
Yes.
relief
Local punks.
organizations.
Yes.
And maybe you can
Thank
steer
you.
us when you come up when we're there. Who's a good worthy person? We don't
Yep.
want to
Absolutely.
buy condos for people. We want to get basic food stuff and shelter for people that really really need it.
Yeah.
Yes, and the playground is doing that too. We have donation bins for food. We know exactly who the money is going to be going to, and we're so grateful that you're willing to dedicate your time and come and play and help support. And Dave, just the fact that you know your history about the islands, the local people, the native people, I know they appreciate that. That's so awesome. I'm gonna have to check out that book myself.
It really is a good. Michener's just a great author. He's done Alaska. He's done all these different places. He was a World War II vet and just started writing, and just really caught on. Very, very great. Great writer. John Steinbeck meets, Henry Miller or something.
Right on.
Very
So
cool.
I want to talk about also some of the other bands that are going to be playing. Right, we've got Fear, LA based, formed in 1977. MDC, which a lot of your guys are coming from Oregon, I believe. Badass Noise from Big Island, and the Undercity Kings on Oahu.
Yeah.
And I know
so
Lundy
excited.
from years back. Lundy's in Bad Noise, and he's quite a great guy and character. I know his brother Adam. We played some parties with Bad Noise on the Big Island 6 years ago.
Yep. Badass Noise. Yep.
It'll be our second time back to Anna O'Brien's as well.
Yay!
In Waikiki. And I learned how to surf on Waikiki on the Queens Beach there. I snorkeled there. I couldn't believe it. I got off the plane, just went right there, and bought a mask and started snorkeling, hung out, got surf lessons, got up on my first day. I loved it. We played Hawaii back in about, I guess it was 2000. When did we play Hawaii? Oh, it was 1993, actually. We played at the Queen's Theater in Honolulu. So this will be our fourth time playing Hawaii.
Yay! We cannot wait to have you. We cannot wait to have you.
Yeah, it's a beautiful place.
The people are going to be able to meet some of the band members. There's going to be a meet and greet at Paia Bay Coffee and Bar from 2 to 4 on that Friday, September 1st.
Yes.
Before the show. So if you guys want to talk story with some of the band members, 2
sure.
to 4,
We're all there. I was going to use the, verboten word pimp, pimp me, put me to work and let me help out.
Boots on the ground, Dave. Your boots on the ground. Thank you so much for coming and donating your time and talent.
Extending the stay 2 more days because we got busier than we thought. In the end, I want to go to the North Shore, in Oahu, and my guitar player Russ is quite the surfer. I'm a junior surfer, but he's going to take me out, and I'm going to swallow some salt water.
Cute.
Look forward to that.
That's amazing. Hey, so you're going to be doing 3 shows in Hawaii, right? The first one's here at the playground.
Correct. Second one's in Kona.
Yeah.
And I know they're moving it, and I'm real bad at the facts and all that. And the third one's in O'Brien, but it's in Kona. And the third one's in Anna O'Brien's in Waikiki.
Yeah.
That's September 3rd. Sunday, September 3rd, Anna O'Brien's.
Right. So September 2nd, if I could look it up, I could, but people should just Google it. Put Google Kona MDC September 2nd.
I think it's Club Ikahi.
Club Ikahi?
Yeah, Club Ikahi.
With El Sancho.
El Sancho, the Alcoholies.
Yep.
Alcoholies. Yeah.
I like that. That. And Trey Wonder and the Graveyard
Thunder.
All age show. That's kind of rare to see an all ages show. So get your tickets for that September 2nd.
Big Island.
3 shows.
It's not a real show if you don't got kids involved, I mean,
we're working on that here at the playground. We're trying to bring some of the kids in, some of the under 21s. The playground is 21 and above right now, but we're working on that, Maui. We're working on that for you.
Yep. And life is good. And and actually I work with Grimace Records, and we have put out a series. And some Hawaiian bands on it, and I should look up who, but we have a benefit series of the Peace and War compilation. We have Punk for Ukraine. If you go to Grimace, you can find these records. We got Days and Days. We got the Dwarves. We got Starving Wolves. We have the Subhumans from Britain, and we're giving out thousands of dollars in the last year and a half, 2 years. And right now, we just got a fresh batch of $800. So I have some fresh money to give out. And we're mostly been focusing on Ukraine, soup kitchens for Ukraine, and medical kits for Ukraine. We gave to Doctors Without Borders in Ukraine. We've also given to Mutual Aid Disaster Fund, which is a United States self-help anarchist run. They help people build devastated communities. and it goes back, and we've been working with them since Katrina back in 2008 and 2009, and they
Wow.
help people fix their houses back so they don't get them repossessed. They've done a lot of work, and
Dave, you're doing all the work that we need here, Dave. It sounds like you're a
we're
musician.
punks that care. That's what NBC. That's my legacy. I'm 67 years old. I'm still pretty,
Young.
and
We love you.
still virile. Like we're trying to make a muscle on here. Still cute, and but really, I want to be known for in the end is just giving back. I've had this charmed, beautiful life.
Wow.
Mother that loved me bought me a guitar. I turned 13 in 1969. Told my mom I wanted to be a vegetarian, and she said, "Well, write me a song." And I wrote the song "Chicken Squawk," and
I love that one.
maybe it's one of the songs that you queued up. It's on YouTube, and they just put it in the Moby movie, punk vegan movie, and we just played the Vegan Fest in England. We're just coming back off a month-long tour in Europe. Had the greatest time.
20 shows in Europe.
20 shows in Europe. Played
Yay!
Rebellion Fest with the Dickies, with Steel Pulse, with No Consent, with Noogie, with the Restarts. Really just a great time. And we just toured around. We went to Southern Italy, and that was a new thing. We're going to go to Turkey next year. Southern Italy is beautiful. Calabria. But watch the Stanley Tucci cooking Italian show where he goes over Italy. If you're ever on an American Airlines plane, they have it in the they have it in the TV shows you can watch. But it's just beautiful. They grow different type of vegetables. They have sweet onions. Really, really cool show. And life is just beautiful. If you can find your way to having a good time in your own skin and just be happy with life, be so, enjoy your life.
Look, I got Miss Kitty Sunshine's sticker here. She's going to be
Oh,
having
Miss
these
Kitty
stickers.
Sunshine.
She's got it on her shirt here.
It keeps
All right,
falling off.
we'll have to make some Miss Kitty Sunshine T-shirts and stuff.
I'm making them. What size are you? I'm gonna get you one. It's gonna say Miss Kitty Sunshine loves me.
I'll wear it on stage, like,
oh my gosh.
And I'll take them around. A lot of bands all over the world hear about Hawaii. I was telling people just last month, we're on our way to Hawaii, because we were going to Hawaii before all the disaster, and and people just are fascinated by it. Like, wow, you're going to Hawaii? I go, yeah.
We need people. Maui needs you. Maui needs the visitors. Maui needs exactly what you're doing. You're a musician, an activist, a human being, an author. You're all over the place. We need people like you to come and band together and rebuild, like Miss Kitty said, boots on the ground. We got to take action.
It's mutual. I need you folks. I'm a human social being, and I want to try to make the world a better place for us, for all the people.
You were doing that, Dave. You were doing that, Dave. We thank you.
Stop the violence against animals. Stop the war in Ukraine. Wherever we can put our 2 cents in. We worked in a campaign to register punk voters. We did Punk the Vote back the last couple of years, and we're going to start it back up again because, whoever, against Donald Trump, we're famous for the song No Trump, No KKK, No Fascist USA, which is also on Spotify. And, man, it's we want to make a better place for all of us. A place
Can
where
I ask you something, Dave?
Religion and skin color and whether you're trans, straight, anything, we're all part of the human family. And let's just get on with the love and get on with trying to make a sustainable planet we can hand to our children. And I say that as a 67-year-old who's, around young people all the time. We just played these shows in London, England, and we have this whole crowd of kids that are 17, 18, 19 years old in England and Bristol. It's just so fascinating. And, and I think about the world I'm handing off to these people. Yep. I just want to do my part to try to make it better.
You're absolutely doing that. My question to you is, where does punk and the music scene and all that, how does that play a role in everything you just spoke on?
Well, we have a label called Grimace Records, and we try to raise money. We try to do groups, but whatever you do, put on a benefit wherever you are. We work with Sea Shepherd. Sea Shepherd looks out for sea life. They got a campaign to stop, the fishing nets to catch up the octopuses and all these different animals die in the nets. They're killing so many sharks and whales and dolphins. It's just horrendous. And we're thinking about global warming. And one of the things you can do is be a vegan or be a vegetarian because there's just so much less. They say 25% of global warming is due to all the farming and all the animal waste, the farming that they have to feed all the animals. Instead of making plant-based food, we have to make so much more food. It's just wasteful. And gosh, it's pretty hot everywhere. I don't know where you were, how hot it was in Hawaii. And I know magnetic poles are shifting, and I'm not exactly sure what's going on. But it was hot in Italy this summer. 105, 108 degrees. I have family that's in Austin, Texas. It was 110
The world
degrees.
is definitely telling us something, man, and you got to do what we have. We've all got to do our part. I hear you, wholeheartedly.
Mama Earth has a fever, and so whatever you do, being a vegan, being a vegetarian is something you can do. Just say I'm not going to put that meat in my mouth. I don't want to have anything to do with the meat industry. And then right for people's human rights, whatever it is, whether they're gay, trans, whatever religion they are, whatever sex they are, whatever, start treating people like equals with love and human dignity. And that's just a good start. And
it's a great start.
In my backyard in Portland, I got a mammal little preserve going on with my squirrels, raccoons, skunks, possums. And it's all over the place here. Everyone come to my house in Portland. That's Dave Dictor's house in Portland. And hang out and feed my squirrels and have a great life. I also starting to do birding. A lot of different birds come to my backyard because we put out all this bird food for. And I just want to be down with all the creatures on Earth that are just magnificent to me, and I feel blessed to be one of.
Amen.
Oh, that's wonderful. Yeah,
I know,
thank you so much. You've reached so many people through your music.
Yeah, and I started out being Millions of Dead Cops. I was an angry punk rocker. Who are the police to tell me what to do? And business on parade against vicious capitalism, corporate death burger against the food industry that kills animals, the multi-death corporation, all the corporations that build weapons of war, submarines, nuclear weapons, guns, promoting gun violence, promoting gun usage. There's 300 million guns in America. I mean, how many more do we really need? Like everyone's got one already. They're already, overusing them, and gun violence is crazy. And that's what we can do. That's what I want to do. I want to be on the beach and meditating and praying. I had the best time in Hawaii. I used to go out there on the rocks there in Nahalehu, or on the south point of the Big Island, and just meditate and just be with it all. Go surfing, go
absolutely
snorkeling, and I love the Big Island. I love the whole Hawaii, but I just fell in love. I lived in Hawaiian Acres, and I like the Kona side. I like the Hilo side. Boy, when it rains in Hilo, it rains. And I been to the museum where Mark Twain came, and what a majestic, beautiful place. And work with some of the uncles for Hawaiian rights, and I think that's important as well. Not forgetting the native population, because they kind of got swindled from it back in the Queen in 1890 and 1903, and if you know that history.
Yeah, your history for sure. I have so many questions for you. Is there anything you wanna discuss? We got about 10, 15 more minutes. We like to keep it.
We got a new album out. I'm all about sales and stuff. Promotions.
Let's talk about the new album.
We got signed by Cleopatra Records. We're in the same label as Willie Nelson, Motorhead, Humble Pie, Dolly Parton, Circle Jerks, The Adolescents, The Misfits,
Misfits.
Oh, it's a big catch.
Yay!
You know,
September
it's a big.
30th.
It's got like over 300 bands. I'm proud to be one of them. A lot of big name labels. It's a major label. At 66 years of age, I signed to a major label. I've been DIYing it the whole time and decided I'm going to let someone else carry my water. And, you know, and for people who want to get MDC, you're going to be able to get it to Cleopatra Records forever.
Cleopatra
really
Records.
happy with a new album. It's called War is a Racket, which I feel it is. And we have a song called Big Lie, which, you know, they tell us a lot of big lies. And another song called Full of Shit. And I think a lot of full of shit out there. You know, they lie to us about global warming, they lie to us about gun violence, lie to us about, you know, making people all insecure so they can be fearful and distrustful of each other. And you have all this hating going on because everyone, you know, gets directed to hate the other. And they dumbed down America really good in the last 50 years. When I went to high school 50 years ago, you used to have to read Dostoevsky. You used to have to read Henry Miller. You used to have to read Charles Dickens. You had to know who Darwin was. You had to do some calculus, some algebra. Now it's like, it's all Spider-Man comic books, you know. It's like nothing against Spidey, you know.
Which has its place too, right? Yeah, exactly.
Right. I love Peter Parker, Mary Jane, you know, I love it all. But it's nice to have a foundation of education. And they've just kind of dumbed everyone down. And they got a lot of, you know, 45% of the country that you can just say blanket things like, trans people are ruining my life, you know, like, because they're using the same bathroom I use, you know, like, and just, you know, and people get all uppity about nothing. And I've watched it my whole life. I watched people, you know, I watched my brothers and cousins go into the Vietnam War, get drafted. You know, I saw Richard Nixon get elected, being a liar, promoting napalm death, with Henry Kissinger getting the Nobel Peace Prize. Henry Kissinger, the same year, he was using napalm in Vietnam and doing Christmas bombing. You know, it's like, it's a really weird, crazy world sometimes. But, you know, I'm working with you guys. I really do. Aaron and Kitty.
Appreciate
to make
you.
this
Yeah,
Mahalo
thank you,
a better place.
Yeah.
It sounds corny, but geez, I want simple, sweet, corny. And you know, and I just, you know, I want this, you know, to be able to pass this planet on to people and feel like it's getting better, not getting worse.
I hear you. Hey, Dave, do you mind expounding on your book a little bit?
Yeah, you know,
you got a book as well.
Yeah, I do have a book. I got a couple books. Let me see. I got one here. I can flash it up. This one I wrote about 5 years ago.
That's the one, yeah.
It's called Memoir from a Damaged Civilization, Fear, Loathing, and Redemption. And it's just about how I got into punk. Like I was telling you before, my mom bought me a guitar and helped me become a vegetarian at 13.
First album, The Beatles. And
yes, my mom got me I Want to Hold Your Hand and She Loves You when I was 7 years old in 1962, 63. And I knew right away I wanted to be in a rock band or pitch for the New York Mets. And I didn't have a pitching arm, so, you know, and the Beatles broke up. So I had to start my own rock band. And I've been doing my rock band for 44 years.
Yay!
And, you know, stand by your band, do your art, be a creative person. It's worth it.
Yeah.
Sometimes you feel like, oh, this is all for nothing and no one's getting it. But you just never know when it's going to take off.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
or even if you're just touching that one person
band in Austin, Texas.
Yeah.
And next thing you know, Jello Biafra's asking us if we want to go on tour to Europe. You know,
Yay!
And really, we were playing for like 60 people, you know, our biggest crowd. And then we went on tour to Europe with Dead Kennedys, started playing in front of 3,000 and 4,000 and 5,000 people. Awesome. You know, you just never know when your ticket's up. And no matter what, if you never make it, you're still an artist. That's the most important thing.
Yeah, share your creativity with others.
The fickle finger of success is a weird, tricky little thing. And you can, you know, luck is opportunity meets preparation, they say. And you just never know when that opportunity is going to come, and being prepared is worth it. And what else are we going to do with our life? What else do you want to do than be an artist, a musician, a creator, a radio programmer, a radio interviewer, being parts of the arts? It's just great. National Public Radio, Terry Gross, it's just so great. And I recommend it for everyone. Don't lose sight of your artistic sense. They want to squish you, put you in a box, and make you believe credit cards and having a Volvo and an expensive house is the only thing. And there's really more to life than a Volvo and an expensive house. It's being able to create, make arts and crafts, make things that touch people, and do creative, good things with it. And I try to mix it in with loving animals, promoting veganism, and and cut down on global warming while we're at it.
Social justice, baby.
Yeah, making the world a better place, one day at a time, huh, Dave?
Yeah, that's us. Punks are the saviors. They want to paint us into like the troublemakers who won't shut up our mouths, but that's who it is. That's what we are. We're the people trying to say, business is on parade, and John Wayne was a Nazi, and all this hate and multi-death corporation. Oh, how can you say multi-death corporation? What are you talking about? How can we say it? They're making bombs and weapons and, airplanes and B-52s and nuclear submarines, torture equipment, landmines. Let's stop doing so much of that. Let's try to make the human, make it work better by. And we've had opportunities. I've seen it in my own lifetime. When the wall came down in Russia, instead of like racing to make it a better place, they just let that opportunity go away. When they got out of Vietnam, I watched, Jimmy Carter become president. I really thought it was going to be a better place. And, Reagan and the Republicans connived, and they were in on the hostage taking in Iran. If you know that part of history in 78, 79, got to go back in the Wayback Machine for me. But, they destabilized the world. And here we are, another, if we don't stop global warming now, who knows what, Earth is going to be here. It's just whether life on Earth is going to be able to sustain itself, and what kind of life is going to be sustain ourselves. So, yes, punk rock is going to change the world.
Right on. Hey, Dave, we have some closing traditions that we like to do here on the Playground Buzz. I've got a question from our last artist. Anuhea is a local Maui artist that we had on here. Her question to my next guest, who is you, Dave Dictor, is what's your spirit animal?
Yes, my spirit animal is an elephant. I went to Thailand six years ago, and I went and went there, and we were feeding bamboo to a bunch of adolescent elephants, and there were some baby elephants. It was very cute. And then I went walking up into the jungle, and it was the kind of place where you paid $100, and you hung out with the elephants, and then they took you on a walk of the area there. We were looking at tiger prints somewhere there on the Laos, Thailand, China border, up north of Chiang Mai in Thailand, which is a beautiful place. It's the spiritual homeland of Thailand. It wasn't Bangkok. It was Chiang Mai, where the old king lived. And Thailand's one of these places where they never got colonized, because if the whole Anna and I, where the English mistress came to teach the King of Siam and like help prevent England or France or Germany from taking over Thailand by just, very, very, very cool history. Right on. And anyway, I got to play with these elephants. I walked in the jungle. I came back and I just sat in the river. And all of a sudden, a mature elephant, actually the matron and the lead female elephant in the pack, and their matrilineal, came and sat down next to me. And the people that worked there were like nervous. They're like, Mr. Dave, please get down to the river. And I just said, if this elephant's going to crush me, then I don't care. And she sat down next to me, and I petted it and just stared into her eyes. It was the most blissful moment of my life.
Oh,
Thank you for sharing. Thank you
That's
for
so
sharing.
special.
Thank you, on a hair, for asking
It
that.
really is.
Question.
Yeah.
Great question, on your hair.
I can share these pictures when I see you. It's called the Elephant School in Chiang Mai. Anyone who goes there, it's a great vacation. When you get there, everything in Thailand is half or a third the price. You can stay in hotels for like $6 a night. You can eat pad thai every night for 60 cents, 80 cents. If you stay away from the 4-star hotels, it's really a great experience. Take 2-3 weeks out of your life and make it to
Yeah.
Chiang Mai. Uh, Really, really beautiful thing. I mean, I sometimes can relate to lots of different animals. Uh, so I love the whole animal world. Sometimes I'm at one with my squirrels in the backyard, and sometimes I love beavers. Uh, I love wolves. And
You're an animal
part of
guy.
campaign. Yeah, I'm a
You're an animal
wildlife
guy.
guy. I'm a
Yeah.
vegetarian, and yeah, I really am fearful for the mass
Mm,
extinction that's occurring right now, and what could happen in the next 10, 20, 30 years. Tigers, elephants, animals all over the place, polar bears. I love seals. I love walruses. I love whales. I love
That's
dolphins.
amazing. Yeah,
Uh, I
absolutely.
had a dolphin experience in Hawaii, which was really a Zen moment for me as well. I was off Captain Cook out there, South Dakota, and I'm just swimming around out there, and all of a sudden, all these spinner dolphins just like I wasn't ready for it. There was like 20 of them, and there were
nice.
uncles and aunts and babies and teenagers, and they were tickling my butt, pulling my bathing suit down, and I just couldn't believe it. I just
That is
couldn't
crazy.
believe it was
Super
happening.
wild.
You're
My
getting fresh
partner,
with Dave.
you know, dolphins are a little that way.
Yeah, they
I've
are.
read,
They are.
and
I've heard. I've heard.
but it was okay. That kind of fresh. I'm a interspecies loving person. It's pulling down my bathing suit. And get a sniff of whatever they want to sniff. Whatever. Uh, I think they're beautiful animals, and I had a precious, beautiful experience with them. And if you know the whole story, we all come from these shrews that are like 3 inches or something. Where after the dolphins got wiped out by the blast from with meteors from outer space,
Yep.
landed in the Yucatan and killed. They had a global winter for a long time, and
Ice
the only
Age.
thing is, all the dinosaurs got wiped out. The
Yes, sir.
dinosaurs turned into chickens and dodo birds, and the only thing left was these little shrews. These little mole type animals.
Fungi.
Where am I going? There they are, and they grew into the great mammal family and all those beautiful, saber-toothed tigers and giant mammoths and mastodons and all those other great things. I love all the YouTube things. I love the study of anthropology. I love the study of the Earth from 4.5 billion years ago when it was created, right to the last 500 million years, where fish and crustaceans or crabs.
And you're part of the current history right now too. So it comes full
We
circle.
are, we are, we are all part of
Yay,
it.
yay,
We're all related
yay.
to those one cell amoebas that came on Earth like 800,000 years ago, and then through comets coming and bringing all kinds of special chemical dust, it sparks something magical, and fish and the oceans and things oxidize. I love it. I hope the best for everybody. I hope you
I've
have a
got
great
one more
day.
question.
I got one
Mahalo
too.
and
I got one
entity.
too.
I got one
All
too.
right,
One
you
more
go
question.
first.
Go ahead.
Okay. What are you looking forward to the most on this trip? What are you really looking forward to? What's going to give you super joy coming out here?
I love being on stage and performing. It's just,
Yay.
when it's clicking and I'm in the groove, and my audience is getting me. I just love it, and it doesn't have to be a 500 people show. It can be 100 people show, But when everyone gets it, and you see the whites in their eyes, and everyone's smiling, and everyone's just feeling that the intensity of the lyrics, whether they be "My Family's a Little Weird," talking you know, about being fluid, sexuality wise, and being able to relate to all the different sexualities. Uh, to just singing songs chicken squawk about loving it, chickens and animals and not loving cartoon animals, see them on TV, and then saying, I'm not going to eat them anymore for Thanksgiving, and tell my mother at 13, we got to do something else. We got to, and she started making me vegan eggplant parmesan,
Nice.
with vegan parmesan. It was so good. My whole family started eating the eggplant on Thanksgiving. Everyone said, no, don't just make it for Dave anymore. We want that stuff. And that's just the kind of revolution that we want. It's like the 100th monkey, where all of a sudden, we're 10 monkeys doing this way, believing in this veganism, believing in this love power, believing in, care for animals, care for the planet, care for each other, anti-war, pro-human. And then all of a sudden, the 100th monkey gets it. And then just like all of a sudden they found at a certain point, monkeys didn't used to wash their food. And then they started doing a little. And then all of a sudden, monkeys around the world started washing their food, even on other continents.
Cool.
We call it the 100th monkey phenomenon. And that with human beings. So, we generate enough love and good vibes that even the Putins and the crazy Chinese and all the warmongers and all the Proud Boys and all the haters, all of a sudden the hate gets melted away, and they just throw off the hate and decide they want to be part of something better and more beautiful, that they deserve it, their planet deserves it, and they can lose that bitterness. We can all make that change, and we could be the 100th monkey.
Right?
We can be, and we're like 94.
Thank you for that. Your messages.
And the people of the show are 96. And at a certain point, it's going to be 100th human being out there, or 100 million human beings. And all of a sudden, the other 7.5 billion are going to get it.
Amen.
Wow.
Hey, Dave. Yep. So our closing tradition, I'm gonna ask you to create a question for my next guest. Can you come up with a good question like Anna had for you?
Yeah. A question that I want to ask your next guest is
could be something as
it's almost like I want to say don't give up the fight. It's not a question, but how do you stay strong so you don't lose your values? And whatever that is, spread it on and spread it out. Because a lot of times I'll be somewhere and all of a sudden, people just start talking angry and they start talking smack, and I hate this, I hate that. And then, to dig deep in yourself and ask yourself, how can I make less smack happen and more smooch? And so, find out what it takes for you to dig deep and then just wear it like your birthday suit and everything else, and have a great life.
We love it. So hey guys, we're going to be closing down this installment of the Playground Buzz. This is our third one. It's only our third one, Dave.
Yay!
So we're still in infancy too, and we thank you for coming on and talking to us.
You guys got a loving spirit. What's the name of the show again?
The Playground Buzz. You can find us on YouTube.
The Playground Buzz.
Yep. DA.
Dave Dictor. When I'm in Maui, I listen to the Playground Buzz with Kitty and Aaron, and I look forward to be there with them. And
September 1st at the Playground Maui, guys.
Right here.
It's coming
down. Coconut water with you.
So
I want to drink some fresh coconut water.
There we go. Let's do it. Let's
you're
make
both
it happen.
Beautiful, and stay that way.
Hey, thank you, Dave.
All right.
Talk to you soon. Thank you so much.
Peace out.
Love you. Thank you.